Me real quick before I play that. And I guess, man, I'm on the fence because we talked about this. What was this? A couple of weeks ago when we were sitting here talking about who was that? Coco Golf. When Coco Golf was sitting here, was basically asking to see more Americans at some of these tennis matches because realistically, when they doing like the what is it, the Australian Open and some of these other places in Europe or wherever they may be playing in some of these tournaments, it doesn't be as many Americans. And sure, of course, for somebody like Coco Golf, there realistically, and even for Naomi Osaka, you don't really see no black people. And that is, and again, I mean, of course, if you're passionate and you grow up and you want to play sports, but I guess this kind of would be, I mean, you want to play tennis and tennis is the sport that you want to play, then I kind of get it. But I guess I would realistically, I would question some of the parents because it's like, if I mean, I get you don't want to deter your kid from playing whatever sport they into, but if you are the parent and you kind of pushing your kid into a sport where you kind of know it's almost a little bit of backhanded racism into it, why push your kid into it a little bit? Like I mean, again, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but when I'm watching just what Naomi Osaka had to go through in real time, and even seeing Coco Golf and seeing people even giving her pushback for saying why they don't come to the matches, and it's kind of like, damn. I mean, let's be clear, they getting paid. Like they both of them, I'm talking about super paid. So if you like a parent and you like, yeah, I want my daughter to play a sport the way, of course, the WNBA ain't paying these kids, really, these women nothing. So it's like tennis realistically is where their bag is because they make more money than any female boxer, basketball player. The female tennis athletes are the most paid female athletes, period. So I do kind of understand it when it comes to the money part. But I'm talking about like the mental space. Like Naomi Osaka literally just took herself out of this tournament after having this situation go along with this woman. So I do, like I said, it's a lot of clips that I can play from this situation. So I will play a few of them. I don't know who's the best or who's not, but I'll just play a couple of these people.
You can't guarantee anything in life except for death, taxes, and the fact that what I'm about to say is about to piss a lot of people the fuck off. I'm sick of the racist ass behavior in tennis. I'm sick of the microaggressive nature of the sport of tennis. I'm not saying this girl is racist, but you not gonna tell me, look, if it quacks like a duck, it looks like a duck, it waddles like a duck, it's not a mongoose. Y'all aren't about to fool me about what I saw with my own eyes. I'm sorry. And the way that my sisters and my brothers get treated in tennis, just something about it doesn't feel, it just doesn't sit right in my spirit. Like, and I have been sitting on this for a minute. I love the tennis girlies. I think the tennis girlies get treated better than any of the other female athletes, actually. They're the highest paid. I love them. But this shit still makes me mad. And I know Sablinka apologized. I didn't like it. Y'all been treating black girls like doodoo cheeks in tennis since the beginning of time, since Serena and them. Yet they keep beating you. They keep winning. So I'm not understanding the disconnect here. Like, where is the sportsmanship? Where's the respect? She was saying, come on, to herself. And it's not like this is she just started doing this. She does this all the time when she plays. And the ref, the umpire, whatever you want to call him, literally said she didn't violate none. It's fine. It's cool. And you arguing with the ref. Like, what is wrong with you? Ooh, ooh. I'm finding it. I'm finding it. The way Naomi acted, the way she ate her ass up in the post game, I'm so, oh my God, it could never have been me. It could never have been me because what they see as disrespectful in the tennis world, ooh la la, if it were me. Oh, I understand tennis is a different type of sport. Okay, the rules are different. There's just a sprinkle of elitism on everything that goes on in tennis. And elitism smells like white supremacy to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm at the US Open. I look to my left, I look to my right. No black people. No black people. In my video, on a hopeful note, more people of color are participating in tennis than ever in the USA. However, I better not see another black girl apologizing for her reaction to a microaggression on a fucking.
And again, and this young lady does a lot of sports commentating via social media, and she goes to, like you said, she was at the U.S. Open when it was in New York, and I guess when she said that little part that she sit here and said, where it seems like with tennis, there's a lot of elitism with it, so it kind of just like, let's be clear, black people do kind of get into that a lot. And I kind of will understand why some parents would push their kids to sit here and go play tennis or do gymnastics or golf or some of these things, because it's like, hey, let me have my kid into a sport that kind of shapes their characteristics a little bit different from if I was letting them go play basketball and they got to go in the hood. Because guess what you can't do? You can't not become an elite tennis player, probably outside of Serena and Venus. And I haven't seen that movie in so long, so I can't even remember if they actually practiced in the hood. They probably had to drive out a little bit 9 times out of 10 because there's not, I mean, in most hoods, especially if you live in a real hood, it ain't too many tennis courts. So again, when she's sitting here saying how you kind of already got to have bread damn near to play those sports, I kind of understand where if I'm a parent and I may don't want my kid, maybe, and it may be a little bit different the more times go, because I feel like AAU at this point, basketball is kind of like you got to have some bread or you got to be super good out the rip. And realistically, you probably won't know if your kid's super good until probably like the age of 10. So if you got them playing from 6 to 10 for those 4 years, you're going to have to spend some bread to move around doing that little AAU circuit, getting your kid a private training, all those other things. So again, all of that kind of goes hand in hand when it comes to the sports conversation. But that tennis thing, it just, again, I think anybody who pay attention to you watching from a distance, it just damn near bleeds out and scream racism. And it's like, why would I want to sign my kid up to have to deal with that? Because it's like, again, the payday is cool. So if you literally just doing anything, I always say this about for the money, for the clicks, the views, and the likes, then yeah, cool. Tennis will be the goal that you will sit here and put your kids through. But then mentally, bro, no, Naomi Osaka is tapped. If you go watch her, what's the joint that she got on Netflix, like you can see she has a lot of battles with mental illness. Not even, I don't want to sit here and say mental illness. I just want to say her mentality just gets challenged so much because of that sport is so damn near whitewashed, because you really don't have too many people you can kind of relate to. And again, and I watch a lot of women's sports. So you can see the difference between like that camaraderie between like women who play in the WNBA, because most of them probably come from very similar backgrounds or similar areas. You can see even just when it comes like the TikTok dancing, from when you're watching the tennis girls. What's the young lady who just recently got like super popular because she had this same type of situation going on? I forgot her name, started with a T. I can't remember her first name and last name, started with a T. I can't think of her name right now on top of my head, but she's kind of like a thicker woman. She looked good as hell, but she kind of went through that same thing. And I'm watching her try to like kind of do the TikTok thing and all that. You can just tell it's not really just a natural thing to her. For it's like she kind of like forcing the dances, where it's like for some of the women who play basketball, like that kind of comes second nature to them, because they just kind of like, you probably just grew up a little bit different, where it's not as elite. You kind of in the hood, you kind of picking up, you know how to do all the things, you got a little bit more rhythm, you got a lot more swag. Like if you compare it, think about, and this is going to sound crazy, but you kind of got to think about this when you talk about the breakdown of like sports. Think about the swag towards like the women who play tennis and just whoever hopefully your top 5 favorite WNBA players are, if they are black women. Just think about their swag, the difference in just how they move and just how they even just go watch their TikToks. When they even do this, they could be doing the same exact dance, and just look at just the swag behind the two is completely different. So it's kind of just like, I would ask as a parent, is it really worth putting your kid in tennis and kind of putting them mentally through all of that stuff just because, oh, the payout is better? That's just a conversation that I had. Like, and I feel like if you're watching it and paying attention enough, it's almost hard to deny some of these conversations.
Ain't it funny how when these tennis players are losing to a black woman, they want to crash out and play a victim like they're Claire Danes in a motherfucking limited series?
Come on. It's okay? You come on between points?
Between first? Yeah, you haven't got to go your other.
So I can talk between points?
Between first? Yeah.
Yeah, can I go come on and talk? And speak?
You're not serving yet, so it's not even this.
Ain't it funny how you want to get up in a black woman's face like you throwing bows at a Walmart Black Friday sale, all because you know that she cannot match your energy because everybody's watching and is going to point fingers at her?
All right, my bad. She putting a lot of I guess her commentation realistically is a lot more driven off of social media, so it's a little bit too clipped up. Here we go, real quick. One more.
I think that Naomi Osaka's nonchalance needs to be studied.
Bruh.
If you haven't caught up on action from last night at the Australian Open, this second round match between these two got a little spicy. And honestly, y'all know I love a petty queen, but I do want to preface this and say that Naomi Osaka has already apologized for some of these remarks. All right, so in the third set, Sorona Cirstea is serving and she gets upset that in between her serves, Naomi Osaka is celebrating.
And listen, real quick, and this may even sound a little bit off when I say this, bro. I cannot sit here and say none of these women's names that they be going back, and when any of these black women get into it with one of these white women, bro, they be having some of the absolute craziest last names and first names that you can't pronounce. Like, oh my God, they be killing me.
Saying, come on. She brings it up to the official. This is how the official responds.
It's okay? You come on between points?
Between first? Yeah, you haven't got to go your other. It's fine.
She goes on to lose and then acts like a sore loser when she comes to the net. So in her post-match interview, this is what Naomi Osaka has to say.
What did it take to get through that one?
Apparently a lot of come on that she was angry about, but whatever. Like, she's a great player. I think this was her last Australian Open, so okay, sorry she was mad about it. She could have asked me, like, bro.
And honestly, I'm not upset at it. Anytime you can work bruh into the conversation of a post-match interview in a Grand Slam, I mean, do it. Ultimately, you can see she's frustrated and confused and doesn't know what the appropriate response is, which is why I think she apologized after the match. I honestly would have stood 10 toes down on this because I don't think there was anything wrong with it necessarily. Like, if you're gonna make the scene, let's do it. Let's do the thing. Naomi did post this on Threads. Anyway, Naomi, we love you, girl. We love the outfit. We can't wait to see you in the next round. I think that Naomi Osaka's
Again, like I said, I just, as a man, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Just as me personally, if I was a parent, there's no way in hell I'm signing my kid up for that. I get it, cool. It's a payout. Like again, Coco Gauff, probably I want to say Coco Gauff for 2025 was the most paid female athlete. Yeah, that bag is crazy, but just that mental piece, like, bro, I've seen too many videos of Coco Gauff and Naomi Osaka both crying after a match, having to apologize, having to overanalyze themselves. I don't necessarily know if that bag realistically is necessary going through everything that they got to go through mentally just to sit here and say, oh, I'm the greatest tennis player, or I'm this, that, and the third. And it's kind of just like, it just seems extremely mentally draining. And some people may say that's like that about all sports, but I just don't see it. And even just the way, like, when it comes to just like even some of like the white women that they going against, and I'm thinking about basketball in my brain right now. I'm thinking about the WNBA, and like for somebody like Marina Mayberry, like she's super chirpy, super. I'm talking about, like, she literally just had a altercation go viral, and it was her and Courtney Williams from the Stud Buzz, and they was playing in Unravel, and they kind of got into it. Like, Marina is such like a swaggy, spicy white, where it's like you don't never have to explain to her or apologize to her for getting it popping with her. Where these women sitting here, I gotta complain to you because I'm putting belt to ass. Like, that to me is kind of crazy. So that's what I'm saying, like, just that mental piece, like, that's the same steel. Like, Courtney Williams, super stud, but everybody, I'm sure if you watch social media or watch sports, you know who Courtney Williams is this time, or you've heard of the stud buzz. So for her and Marina to have that back and forth little chippy little moment, and then I'm sitting here watching this, that's the difference where it's like, yeah, tennis is a payday, but dog, I don't want to mentally sit here and kill my kid for some bread. That's basically damn near what it feels like when I'm watching, anytime I'm watching an altercation go, or even after Coco Gauff or Naomi Osaka win, why the fuck are they have to sit here and cry? Like, that to me, I'm cool, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it ain't no way in hell. I do kind of, I guess, was getting into hip hop a little bit.